Hello and welcome to this notebook on conditional structures. Conditional structures are one of the three types of control structures that are required in any imperative language, which includes Python, in order to allow you to perform an arbitrary calculation, so to write a program to do anything you want. And the first of these control structures we've actually already seen, and that's sequential execution. So come think of it, our program so far consisted of instructions that we entered one after the other, and they were run exactly in that order. And that sequential execution is actually the approach that is taken in cooking recipes, if you want. So you start from the top and you follow the instructions until your dish is ready. Now, while that is clearly useful, there are situations in which it's not enough. And think, for instance, of a teller machine. You've got to actually take decisions based on the data. So if somebody enters the wrong PIN code, you want to swallow the card. If somebody enters the correct PIN code, you want to dispense cash. What you're doing there is you're branching on conditions. So you are executing different parts of your code depending on the data. And that's what we'll be looking at in this notebook. In the same repository, you will find another notebook that focuses on loops, and that's the third control structure that forms this kind of essential triad of control structures. And loops are about repeating a set of actions many times, and it's also something that we associate with computers, isn't it? The computer does the same operation many times on different data. So what do conditional statements look like? Well, the simplest one that you find in almost every programming language is the if-else statement. Sometimes in other languages it's written if-then-else, but in Python it's if-else. So this is the basic conditional. You find it almost everywhere, and it looks like this. If a certain condition is true, you perform this block of instructions, and otherwise you perform that block of instructions. And the indentation here is important. I'll tell you more about this later on. So for example, here is a bit of code. Here's a variable, kettle temperature, and I give it a value. And then I check, this is the condition. If kettle temperature is greater than 90, that's the condition there. Then I run this instruction, and if it's smaller than 90, then I run that instruction. So give it a go, play with it, try changing the kettle temperature, try maybe changing this greater than with a less than, and see if you can rearrange the code so that it still works the way it should work, it doesn't spoil your tea, and then read on and see if you can make sense of this.